And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a little card game from Amigo called Lifestyle. In Lifestyle, you want to have the, best lifestyle. You want to have the fastest car, the best house, the best job. I don't know if that's really what a goal in life should be, but in this game, that's what you're trying to do. And also have a lot of pets. Anyhow, this game is a set collection game where you're trying to collect cards, and you're doing so by rolling dice, trying to accomplish your dreams by rolling high. Let me show you. There are 3 rows that are placed here, and you have a deck of cards that you'll be drawing and putting 3 after each of these. So players will start with some chips based on the turn order that they are in the game, and each player will have this card in front of them. And this card is going to basically, you're going to have cards that you are trying to get, and then once you get it, you move it down to the bottom row. So you have cards in the top row and in the bottom row. So on a player's turn, the first thing that they're allowed to do is they're allowed to pay a chip to replenish 2 cards, or pay 2 chips to replenish all 9 cards. Then a player has 2 options. One, they can take a card. They can take any one card, or they can take a whole row or a whole column. So let's say I take this card, the next person might decide to take this row. You're like, well, why would you pick one row over taking one card over a row or a column? Because your other action can be trying to accomplish the cards that you have. So when you do this, you're going to take all the cards that you have. When you get them, you're going to put them in this dice area here. And each card, you'll start, this is the other action, instead of taking a card, you're going to try to accomplish these. So here it says roll 3 dice and get 16 or higher. So here I got 14. I have failed. And now that I failed, I get a chip. However, chips can be used to re-roll dice. So let's say I had a chip, I re-roll this one, that's still 14. Not very good. When you fail, you can discard one. I'm like, yeah, I'm discarding this one, and I get rid of that card completely. So next time, I'm going to try again. Here I need a 2 or higher on 1 die. Got it. Now I go to this one. I need an 8 or higher on 2 dice. I failed, and again, nothing happens. I have to get both of them. So here, a 2 or higher on 1 die, and I failed again. Then I roll here, a 2 or higher on 1 die, and I failed again. And so every time you fail, though, you get a chip. So maybe the second time when I had rolled a 6 and a 1, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use a chip. Now I got a 10. Once you succeed on everything here, you move it down, and it's going to score you points at the end of the game. And again, remember, you can, every time you fail, you get a chip, and you also may discard a card if you can't get one done. Once you get sports cards, you can also use these for their special abilities. Sometimes they give you a free re-roll, or sometimes it can add 1 to a die, things like that. This will continue until all the cards from the deck are gone, and then players will score. Now there's different cards in the game, and they'll score different ways. Whenever you get a pet, it immediately gives you a chip, and at the end of the game, each pet is going to give you 10 points. You'll get 10 points for each set of pets that you have. There's different types of pets. There are houses, and the more different houses you have, the more points you will get for them. The cars or vehicles are simply going to be worth a number of points. You can see this car here is worth 6 points, while the motor scooter is simply 1 point. Sports give you no points, but they let you do things during the game. There are jobs that you can get over the course of this game, and they're all different. For example, this one gives you 2 points for every pet you have. And there are love cards, which will, this one, for example, doubles the value of all your pets. And so you can see there's all sorts of different cards in here, different houses, different vehicles. That card's worth 4. Different jobs that you have. This one gives you 4 for every sports card that you get. And so you're trying to get cards. So at the end of the game, when you add together all your points, whoever has the most points is the winner. So the game is essentially a card game, and most of the stuff here is fairly easy to figure out what it does. You know, essentially this is the square of houses, and this gives you 3 points per car. The artwork is fine. It kind of has both a modern feel and kind of old-timey look to it. and the different colors help differentiate between the different things. I'm okay with it. The rules themselves, well, I had a hard time. I had to go to the website to find the rules because this game is only out in German, but once you know how to play it, you don't really need to look at the rules at all. So that's how you play Lifestyle. Very simple game, and it's a lot of dice rolling. The game is really a lot of dice rolling. So there's kind of an interesting thing here. I said, why would you take one card over taking 2 or 3? Because if you take 3, you have a bunch there, and it's really hard to roll. You can get really lucky and meet all those goals, and then you get a lot of points, or you could fail time after time after time after time, even getting chips and spending them for re-rolls. So let's talk through how that works. So let's take a simple card. I need to roll 4 or higher on 1 die. I roll a 3. I failed. Take a chip. All right, next time I got it. I roll a 2. All right, I'll pay my chip to re-roll. I got a 1. All right, give me my chip back. All right, let's try it again. I rolled a 3. Pay my chip. I rolled a 2. Give me another chip. Let's try it again. I rolled a 4. Finally. So meanwhile, Billy Bob over there rolls, get all 3 of his. And that's kind of where the point of this game is. Yes, you can use chips for re-rolls. Yes, you can get sports things. But the fact of the matter is if you roll well, you do well. If you roll poorly, you don't. The dice mitigation is not that strong. It is essentially just dice rolling and maybe adding 1 to the rolls that you get. And, you can take 3 and go for broke, or you can just try to do 1 card at a time. It's okay, right? I don't dislike the game, but you are just going to keep rolling dice, and at the end of the game, the winner is the person who rolled the best. Period. I don't care about dice mitigation. None of that matters. It's the person who rolled the best. And or also happen to have the cards they need it, because again, a lot of these cards don't mean anything. You get the veterinarian who gives you points for every pet, but then you don't collect any pets. Or if I have 2 of the 3 pets, they get the 10 points, but the 3rd pet never shows up. It finally shows up and you grab it on your turn. Meh. So it's kind of where I'm at with the game. It's fine, I'll roll some dice and do stuff, but there's a lot of dice rolling games out there. I don't know that this one rises above the other ones in any other way, and it just comes down to a big pile of luck. Dice Tower Judgment, it's okay, but very lucky.